The only thing we really hear about Earl is somebody just predicting Bud out of the blue, another Bud. I guess he's going around trying to get celebrities to build. I mean, some people just don't know how to build fights. Some people think that it has to be drama filled. Some people think that you gotta infuse that drama in order to sell fights. And then this is a clear case. So my question was, since there was no petition, there was no clamoring of the fans for Bud and his OnlyFans to ever fight Boots. Only reason why me as an Errol Spence fight didn't want to see Earl and Boots, because I wanted what everybody else wanted in Undisputed. And I still want to see that fight. But the selfish part of me, the hardcore boxing fan in me, says that I want to see Earl one more time at 147. I want to see it. If the Bud and Spence fight does not happen, I want to see Spence and Boots get it on before he goes to 54.
I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock. I love you. Angela Stone, I fertilize a brick. That's bad. So me, I make medicine sick. Fast. Last night, I cut the light off my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. All you chumps are gonna bow when I whip him. All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him, Dick. But the man can cover. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Is it time that we start turning the page from Bud to Boots? Is it time yet? You know, a lot of us are die-hard Errol Spence fans. Some of us are also pure boxing fans, so we can appreciate the skill set that Terrence Bud Crawford brings to the table. But with the latest messages being echoed that I don't need Spence, I don't, this is like, I'm not even sure right now. I even want to see this mindset of a Bud against Spence right now. I mean, I've been zapped about it. I've been stopped doing. I think the last video that I used to do videos about Bud. The last video that I did about Bud as a Bud fan. The last video I did was when Errol Spence fans started straddling the fence and started jumping on Bud's bandwagon when Bud sued Bob Arum. And I was like, he used the black card. He went over there, he went overseas and said their fans are the greatest fans. Never said that about the fans over here that truly support him. And I saw YouTube boxing community go crazy in defense of Bud. And I said, see, as when it comes to having a code or being on code or whatever you want to call it, some of us don't even know what the code is, because some of us shit on each other every single day. And it's not, I guess you just gotta have a certain amount of followers and a level of whatever to be able to honestly critique somebody. But we pick and choose and we shit on our own. We have whole channels who every day that's all they do, right? And then we have somebody like Errol Spence, who is not Mr. Perfect. He did have the DUI incident, and I think it was a life learning lesson for him, and he grew from that experience, because from that we got a focused Errol Spence, one in which I don't think that they banked on Errol becoming. They thought Errol was finished. They thought he was over. I seen content creators switching sides. I mean, you know, Terrence didn't even fight anybody else. This is before the Sean Porter. I seen people switching sides and jockeying for position so that, you know, if that baton gets passed from Spence to Bud, they'll be right there in position to grab that motherfucker and keep running, you know. I saw them straddling, so I stopped doing videos about Bud because he is triggering the activity. I mean, the activities. You know, going out there, I'm looking for the big fish all out in the ocean, down in the aquarium in Atlanta. Talking about he was looking for the big fish, and word on the street is that we're still waiting, and it's really on Bud. He's out living his best life. The only thing we really hear about Earl is somebody just predicting Bud out of the blue, another Bud. I guess he's going around trying to get celebrities to build. I mean, some people just don't know how to build fights. Some people think that it has to be drama filled. Some people think that you gotta infuse that drama in order to sell fights. And this is a clear case. So my question was, since there was no petition, there was no clamoring of the fans for Bud and his OnlyFans to ever fight Boots. Only reason why me as an Errol Spence fight didn't want to see Errol and Boots because I wanted what everybody else wanted in Undisputed. And I still want to see that fight. But the selfish part of me, the hardcore boxing fan in me, says that I want to see Errol one more time at 147. I want to see it. If the Bud and Spence fight does not happen, I want to see Spence and Boots get it on before he goes to 54. Why not? Why not? We'll actually get to see if Boots is the truth, because I call him Sasquatch feet. Even though Earl is one of the main ones that I respect for actually saying, hey, young lions hunt. You know what I'm saying? You'll get your turn. The phenom from Philly, Boots. You'll get your turn. And nobody had any energy when Earl got the fight with UGAS in the build-up. Nobody had any energy to see Boots. There was no accountability because Boots, all he had to do was move up and fight Horn and just sit back and wait for Earl, because he's been calling Earl for all this time, even though we don't know. I mean, that rhetoric and all that stuff that everybody keep echoing, it made the whole fight just so toxic. But I'm thinking, when do we actually honestly ask ourselves as hardcore boxing fans, is it time to start turning the page and start looking for a Spence and Boots fight? Because in the era right now, it's soft touch season. It's soft touch season. Canelo getting ready to get Grandpa. Wilder getting ready to get Hellenius. Devin getting ready to get Kambosos. Lomachenko about to get a young up-and-coming guy. But it's a guy that, it's a soft touch for Lomachenko. It's soft touch season. And I know the spirit of Earl, when all these people keep trying to leave their division. Shakur's talking about, you know, coming up to 35. Meanwhile, Devin is getting ready to run up to 40. Tank is still staying in division. A lot of people, I mean, I think Josh Taylor is defending, you know, is actually getting a rematch with Jack Catterall. I of which thought that they robbed Jack Catterall in that fight. And he's looking to go to 47. Everybody looking to move out of division. And so Earl has his eyes set on 54. And I respect whatever Earl do, because he's been a man of his word. He got in the ring, he called out Bud, and we still waiting. And every day, all we get is new speculation. But do we start looking, do we honestly say, you know what? Let's switch gears and say, hey, Spence and Boots. It'll be a passing of the torch. It'll be a passing of the torch, or it'll be a standing of the guard. Either way, it's a fight that will please the fans. It will build both fighters, as Earl go to 54 or Boots get his opportunity. And as far as I'm concerned, if Earl was able to do that, I would wholeheartedly I would always count him as being undisputed at 47. That's just where I'm at. Even though we know he need to fight Bud, but at this point, man, I have no energy. I have no energy to really pull for it anymore. But what do you think? Do we look at Boots now? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the new subscriptions. Here at Bodywork Boxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
All right. I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, if I do what I do, he knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid on the ring. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all that.
Today's job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so